Welcome, everybody, to episode 10 of Bloggers Are Weird. I am your host, DJ Paris, from the blog thoughtsfromparis.com. We have a lot of new listeners over the past few weeks, so I should probably explain what it is we do here. Well, this, Bloggers Are Weird, is a podcast designed to start to listen and hear your favorite bloggers reading some of their posts live. On every other week, I find one of my favorite bloggers, get them to read something from their website. On the alternate weeks, this being one of them, I read a couple of my posts, and that's exactly what I'm going to do today. So I picked two of my favorites, one of which is really disgusting, the other which is mildly disturbing, and I think you'll find both interesting. I know I do. By the way, if you like the show, please consider giving us a positive review on iTunes. Negative reviews, don't bother, just keep it to yourself. And I don't think we've gotten any negative ones yet, so thank God. But also tell a friend. If you don't mind, pass this on to someone that you think might appreciate listening to a blogger speak. So grab a thimbleful of Manischewitz wine or whatever your drug of choice is. Mine are 2 bottles of O'Doul's Amber. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Today's podcast is sponsored by romance-text.com. Looking to reignite the passion in your relationship? You have to check out romance-text.com. This is how to use text messages to bring back the passion and reignite the spark you once had. Now, if you're thinking this sounds cheesy or maybe it's just learning how to send dirty text messages, it's actually not. This program by relationship expert Michael Fiore has been featured in over 200 television and radio shows. This program has a money-back guarantee, is normally $97, but listeners of Bloggers Are Weird get a special price of only $47 for the entire program. By purchasing the program, you help support this show. Visit romance-text.com and get the passion back. I do something awful during phone calls, a confession. We all know at least one person that is a people pleaser. This is someone that puts other people's needs in front of their own, often sacrificing their own happiness. They have learned early on, if everyone else is happy, I will be happy too. Except it generally doesn't work. I've learned through a tremendous amount of my own experience that I'm basically no good to anyone if my own needs aren't being met. But this entails me finding the courage to ask for what it is I need from others. And there's tremendous risk in this. Why? Well, people might choose not to give me what I want. Or worse, they can reject and leave me. Now, the reality is, when you ask for what you want, as long as you have relatively sane people in your life that love you, you actually increase the likelihood of receiving what you need. But again, the possibility of rejection is real and scary. This, however, is not really me. I typically have little issue asking my friends for stuff that I need. In fact, I'm more on the other side of the problem. I'm a bit selfish and self-focused. I think of other needs way after my own. Except in one instance. Confession. If you've had more than 3 phone conversations with me in your life, odds are I've gone to the bathroom when on the phone with you. And yep, sometimes it's a number 2. Why? Well, first, sometimes I just have to go. I'm a huge windbag, and anyone who's close to me knows there is no such thing as a 5-minute phone conversation with me. I cannot tell you how many times the other person finally goes, okay, I gotta go. I don't think I've ever said that. No shit, pun intended. So oftentimes the BM fairy just happens to come visit while I'm droning on about the Walgreens checkout girl that said, now that's what I'm talking about. She really did say that, by the way. The other day when I came to the counter with, and this is exactly what I brought to the counter, 2 Gatorade low-cal drinks. I don't even like Gatorade, by the way. 2 bags of Lifesavers, Winto Green, and Peppermint, 3 Snickers almond candy bars, it was 3 for $1, and 2 Cheetos bags, one of the Flamin' Hot and one of the extra Flamin' Hot. You know, I also should have brought Kleenex because it was clear that I really needed to cry. Now, this is the purchase of a psychopath. It also is indicative of somebody that has had an extremely stressful day and is ready to bury themselves into a mountain of carbohydrates until their pancreas goes into shock. See, while I just told that story, I made a Doody. I brought my microphone into the bathroom just so I could do this while I was doing that. You didn't even hear me flush, right? Well, the other reason that I go while I'm talking on the phone has to do with insecurity. I'm actually afraid that you don't really want to talk to me, that you're just doing it to be nice, and if I excuse myself to go to the bathroom, when I call back, you will not pick up. So instead of being honest about what I need, hey man, I just had 4 Fiber One burritos for breakfast. Please excuse me while I go destroy the lavatory. I'd rather just keep it to myself and poop away while you're telling me about your kid's preschool class. And believe me, I understand this is gross. I know it is because I don't flush until after the call. You know, me being thoughtful and all. So there's my confession. I'm truly sorry if you're one of my close friends. Just ask me not to do this. I will respect your wishes. Or, maybe better said, I wouldn't want to be known as somebody who shits all over your request. Ha! A poop joke. Awesome. I can't touch cotton balls. A confession. Well, it has been a while since I've introduced a new DJ confession. In the past, I've talked about how I used to wear tight jeans and how I would sing songs in my head and pretend that I was actually in the band of the song I was listening to or playing, and how I just recorded the track that you listened to before about how when I'm on the phone, sometimes I go to the bathroom during the conversation. But that's nothing. None of those are anything compared to this next confession. Ever since I can remember, touching a cotton ball totally freaks me out more than anything else. I'm talking about pure terror. Let me put this in perspective. When I was 19, I worked as a security guard in a Jewish retirement home. I had a badge. It was totally lame, and I just sat around reading books and drinking from the water cooler. I sat behind a desk and pretended to look tough. That summer, I watched a beautiful woman my age who did the cleaning with her grandparents every single night. I never had the courage to ask her out. I did, however, have the courage to find 3 dead bodies. Well, not courage exactly. I just ended up finding 3 dead bodies. Old people die sometimes. These were elderlies who kicked off in their apartments. And you know what? While it was a little sad, the idea of seeing a dead person, and this was my first experience, wasn't such a big deal. I don't remember freaking out at all. Even the smell didn't bother me. But the idea of touching a cotton ball, then and today, sends me into an inner mental frenzy. I just as soon never touch one for the rest of my life. Now, I'm not a total spaz. You wouldn't notice that if you put a cotton ball in my palm, I'd start screaming on the inside. I play it cool. But inside I am exploding like a tween at a Justin Bieber mall sighting. But not in the good way, like exploding with excitement. Like in the bad way, where I need to run so far I'm sure it won't roll in my direction and stalk me. So here's the deal. If you place a cotton ball in my palm, I can deal with it. If you ask me to pick one up out of a bag, I'd really rather not do that. I suppose I could, but I would try to find any excuse in the world to get you to do it for me. If one fell to the ground and you asked me to pick it up, I would not. You are pushing me too far. Stop. Seriously, stop right now. Then if you asked me to squeeze one with my fingers, I would sprint. I can't even read this right now. The idea of squeezing one of my fingers is so horrible. But if you asked me to squeeze one, I would sprint away at full speed like I want to sprint away from this microphone. I'd be sweating like a bastard. I'm almost sweating like a bastard because to squeeze a cotton ball between my fingers is fucking crazy. I'm all worked up just now thinking about it. I'm not lying. Every time I get a new vitamin bottle with the cotton at the top, it is pure agony to remove it. I've tried using 2 knives to grab it like a chopstick so that my fingers don't actually touch it, but I can still sort of feel the texture. No good. Sometimes I just press the cotton to the bottom with a pen cap, which is also awful because of the pressure, and try to jimmy the meds out around the cotton. This is my personal Vietnam. Can you imagine how awful it would be if I were a woman? Using a cotton ball to remove makeup? No way, Jose. Also, tampons? Forget that. I'd be a proud panty liner patron. To be clear, snakes don't bother me. I can speak before 1,000 people and not break a sweat. Fingernails across a chalkboard? It's like symphony to my ears. I could chew on tinfoil and love every bite. But cotton balls, man, that's just not cool. Not cool. Think I'm alone? Well, I'm not. I saw this thing, you can Google it, on Maury, where there was a woman just like me, and they brought out this tray of cotton balls to have her face her fear, and she ran away screaming. Everyone else laughing, I was crying. I know that woman. I am that woman. So, if you ever want to see me get into the fetal position, build a wall of cotton around me. Sure, I could just run through it to escape, but I totally wouldn't. I'd just stay in the circle until someone rescued me. And I'm pretty sure I'd have my eyes closed the whole time. Ooh, now I'm thinking of stepping on it. This is freaking me out. I gotta end this. Okay, thanks. Bye.